the feminine urge to control or to even manipulate an outcome. If you have ever been in a situation where you felt like you could not let go of emotions, of a relationship, or even of things at your home, there's a huge chance that this has something to do with control. And control is always kind of lack-based. So it means if you tend to have this urge to control an outcome or to have this kind of knowing that something is working out, that has always something to do with trust and a lack of safety from within. Because what a woman can't find within herself, she tries to control in the outside. And a huge example, and I have been there, and my mother has been there, is when the feminine doesn't feel safe within herself as an expression of herself, the way she talks, the way she interacts, if she feels a judge, if she doesn't feel safe financially, she starts to control the outside. And that can look like perfection. She has to do things like perfectly, for example, on herself and also in her environment. So meaning like the household becomes some kind of controlling situation. So everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be in order. And there is a difference, a huge difference energetically between controlling things and putting things into order. So controlling always comes from a lack of safety from within. So it's a coping mechanism. You try to control the outside world, like how you look, how you do the things at work. If you talk to people, you try to talk in a certain way, the way you look at home. Everything has to be in some kind of perfection, and you feel it because there is already tension. It's already filled with a lot of pressure. If it's not in a certain way, it already means control loss, so safety loss. And when I went through my healing, I discovered that pattern that, I have always been a person that likes order and structure. And looking back in my own journey, I was operating in a very hard masculine energy because, yes, there were wounds, and yes, I was not aware of that. I used control and also cleaning at home as a way of coping with things. I remember during my studies, like the whole studying, it is all mental. Like it has nothing to do with coming back into your body or dropping into your wisdom. It is all mind-based. And because I was also studying in English in the Netherlands and in Groningen, and it was so stressful because I could feel that it was taking so much energy from me. It was all mental, that like I needed to have like a structure at home, and everything had to be like nice organized so I could have some kind of safety. I felt so unsafe with what I was doing, if it was good enough, if I could make it. So, which were actually, honestly, it was just a mirror of all the topics I already had within. Looking back, I could see that. And there was a lot of things I wanted to control in a way that would give me safety. But that is not real safety. Real safety means that even things don't go the way you would have loved it, even when things at home turn out a little bit more chaotic, you can just be with it. You don't have to fight it. You allow chaos. You allow in that moment that it is okay We don't have to push anything. We don't have to thrive for it. We can just, it's okay in that moment. The feminine chaos is welcome. And later, my masculine energy is putting some structure in, cleaning it, making it nice again. So instead of like controlling it and fighting it, and this is not how I want it, it has to be different, you ease in, you let go. And that is a process. That is really a process. First time, the second time, and you start relaxing into the chaos a little bit. And again, some moments are really meant for you to let go. The feminine is not made, again, the feminine is not made to hold on. Not at all. The pure essence within you, when you're a woman and you connect so deeply to yourself, you can feel you are a stream of water that is flowing with every given moment. You don't have to plan. You don't have to control like a man. These are all man traits, and yes, we have them in us, and yes, they can help us, but they are not primarily our God-given traits that we should be staying in all the time. Just because mankind has done it the whole time on this earth doesn't mean you have to do it. You can ease in, you can let go, and you can stay soft with all the things that you're doing. And if you feel like the energy is off within a relationship, if it's a friendship, if it's with a family member, trust. Let go, ease in. The feminine has absolutely no desire in dominating or pushing or fighting or making a difference. No. She's easing into it. She is easing into it, into this moment. She's like water. She's like the flower that is just blooming. She doesn't have to push it, it just happens. So instead of going for the next goal, instead of trying to control the outcome, instead of making everything perfect, just ease into the imperfection. When I sit down right here with you, I'm not controlling it. I let it flow. I have my notes, which I don't even use because I'm just here. I want to be here. I want to be present. I want to feel what is going on within me right now. Instead, being in my head and thinking everything through, I drop back into my body. I have a body, and I'm allowed to feel safe within. When you have been, for a long time, in an energy where you needed to control, you needed to plan, you needed to survive, you're not living, you're surviving. And that is not life. That is like bypassing every given moment. You are literally meant, you are meant to live fully, heartedly, authentically in that moment. There's actually no standard or no goal to attain because it's all made up. The moment you allow the completely unknown to happen is the moment you step into your presence, into your power. You don't have to force it. You don't have to even to plan it, because there is something within you. If you allow it to unfold, it's going to be so beautiful, and it's going to be just for you. So for me, when I started healing, when I started doing the inner work, when I did my first plant medicine, when I met Albert, I really released all that BS that was within my system. I had mistrust to men. I had mistrust to God because of my father wound. I couldn't trust God. I couldn't trust a man. I was realizing how much pain there was in the feminine. I was realizing, literally feeling it within my nervous system, there were things that had been held on from other women in my lineage for hundreds of years. I remember a lot of moments in my healing journey, I was saying to myself, why do I feel everything? Why do I feel it? I could feel literally, I could feel past voices from somewhere crying, being hurt, being pushed down, being controlled, being in an environment where it was not safe to be a woman, where they learned if I control and plan and act like a man, maybe I would be accepted. But that is wounded energy. And we don't need that anymore. Like, ease into the energy. And if it's just people from, like maybe a book or online or somewhere, ease into the energy where you feel safe emotionally with people. I was creating that for myself. Like, I would literally give myself the space to feel and to feel nurtured and to connect with God. And also I would say, God, I don't know how to trust. I feel so hurt. Every time I connect with someone, I'm distrusted. And also with Albert, like, I had such a hard time to let go, because my whole life, like from my childhood on, there was already like such a distorted energy to the masculine, because it wasn't stable. It was not stable. And at the beginning, I remember it so clearly, my masculine energy, which was more dominant a little bit in me, because I kind of had to, navigate through life. It was really stiff when I look back now. My masculine energy was fighting his masculine energy, because Albert is a really masculine man. He stands in his energy. He's very present. He's very grounded. He's a very safe, emotionally safe man. And my whole system was alarm, alarm, alarm. What is going on? Because I was so used to drama and pain. And I thought that was normal, but it was not normal. So it was almost like a threat when I would ease into my safetyness, into my own feminine energy. And that is healing. That is purging the old. Looking back to my ancestors, to the woman before me, I had so much empathy. I had so much empathy. Look, wherever you are, sit with yourself and ask yourself, the women before me, not only my mom or my grandma or their mothers, how did they live? How did they feel? What primal emotions went through them? And I was giving this example a few times. So my grandma really, she grew up in war, and her mother grew up in war. And, if you know, like in Germany, the time, in the 1939 and all that time, what happened, what happened. And this time was about war. It was about control. It was about, if you show your true, authentic self, if you be vulnerable, you're dead. Like, that is danger. You have to survive. And imagine that is something that happened for several years, decades. People would be so manipulated, especially in Germany, that they would believe, if I would ever be soft again, if I would show emotions, maybe that would mean I get manipulated again. So learning all of that, like really digging into the history of your own ancestors, it will help you so much, not only to look into your own pain of control, of mistrust, but to really realize, oh my God, like, I have so much empathy for myself. Like, I know where this is coming from, and I am so grateful. I am ready to let go of that, not only for me, but for the generations before. And I encourage you to notice the areas, really, this was something that helped me so much. Notice the areas where whenever maybe someone is changing something, even if it's a project or if it's at home, what would come up? Like, what am I trying to control right now? Why would I have the desire to control it? Like, what is it giving me? And again, there is a difference having order and being clean. There's a difference than controlling. Control feels harsh. Control feels like I have to do it, otherwise I cannot relax. And order, and coming from a place of love, of I nurture this place, I keep it clean because this is our home and I want it to be a beautiful, you feel the difference. It's also, I noticed things like from my childhood, some of my caregivers, they were like loading the dishwasher with so much aggression, or they were like cleaning the things with like, it has to be fast. Notice whenever you are needing to do fast, needing to control, I have to do this now. Ease in. This is your nervous system speaking. Ease in and let go. There is nothing you have to control. And yes, the feminine, we need people. We need feminine friends. We need women that connect with us. We need husbands that are present, emotionally safe, in order for us to ease into our feminine. And, it's not something for you to do all on yourself. Like, we need each other, and that is good. That is something beautiful, because we have been disconnected for a long time from each other, and now we're coming more back into, hey, I can trust you and you can trust me, and together we can be here together. So listen to your body. Listen to the areas where you are controlling, where you're holding on, where you want to have a certain outcome. And reflect on the areas, where is this coming from? What do you need? What do you really, really need? Okay, beautiful souls. Have a beautiful day, and I see you in the next video. And if you want to dive a little bit deeper, check out this video. It's about nervous system, how to really relax in, because safety comes from your nervous system.